Hi, everybody. Am I visible? Is my audio clear?
Yes, yes.
All right. Okay, so let's begin. Welcome to Hacktoberfest 2020, our tech community event. So this is the first event organized by our tech community, community that I had started earlier this year. So if you're not part of the community, you can become a part of the community. Someone will put a link in the chat. Okay. So let me. So we have time for some introduction and welcoming things. So let me just begin. So first and foremost, let me tell you about the code of conduct for today's session. It's an informal talk, but please remember to be kind, inclusive, and friendly. No doubt is silly, so please ask doubts. After each section, I'll be waiting for doubts, and you can unmute and ask your doubts. And if possible, you can switch on your camera as well. If you're not comfortable, that's fine. Okay. So yeah, and don't curse. Yeah. So that is the code of conduct of the event. Then yeah, why am I conducting the event? Okay. So let me just tell you a very short reason. So in 2019, Hacktoberfest 2019 was the first year that I had that I participated in it, and it was my first experience with open source. So um, I did not know what open source is at all. So I just watched Brad Traversy's tutorial on Git and GitHub, and just got started. Contributed to the to very okay-ish repos, and but what happened was that Git and GitHub started intriguing me. I was like, what is this thing? So I kept exploring. In November and December, I started web development, and in March, I finally properly got into open source and started contributing and started putting up my own projects and stuff. So and till today, it has been a very rewarding experience for me. Um, so that is why I wanted to pass it on to others, and I wanted others to be as interested and as passionate about open source like I am. So yeah, that's the reason I'm keeping this event. And someone is telling me that I'm not visible in the center, so you can just adjust your screen settings to make me as the main focus, or however you wish it to be. Yeah, so what are we going to do today? So I'll just run through the brief points. I've made a list on my mobile. So I'll just go through the points, and we'll discuss each of these points in detail over the next 2 hours. So what am I going to be talking about? What is open source? Why should you care about it? And why do you open source something, your project? What is the spirit of open source? What is Hacktoberfest? Why is it held? What is it not about? What are the rules for Hacktoberfest 2020? What are the types of pull requests that you should open? Owners and maintainers' perspective on things. So basically, my perspective, because I'm a small, very, very small part of the owner community. So Git and GitHub basics, pull requests. How do you open a pull request and stuff on pull requests? So yeah, that's the basic agenda for today. And if you all don't have any questions, then we'll properly start discussing each and every point in a minute. So is everything fine?
Yeah, everything is fine.
Okay. So we'll just begin in a minute. I guess on YouTube or something, I am not coming in the center. So let me just fix that if I can. Okay, so people are still joining in. Let's wait for a minute. Okay, I guess now I am coming full screen on YouTube. So let's see. Okay, I think we can begin. So yeah, first section of our session today. It's all about open source and Hacktoberfest. Um, so yeah, I think there is some issue with the YouTube live stream. Just give me a minute. Okay, YouTube is fine. YouTube is fine. Okay, sorry for that. So open source and Hacktoberfest. Okay, so let's begin with what is open source. So as the name suggests, open source is opening the source to opening something source, right? So in terms of software, if we talk about in terms of software, if we talk in terms of software, we are there's a software, there's an application, and we are just opening up its source to public eye, right? So that is basically open sourcing something. Okay, so that is what open source is. Okay, now why would you want to open source something? So when you open source something, maybe put up your software on GitHub. So what happens is that people use your software, and then if they are using the software, they want to give back to it as well, right? So they try to improve it. So it's a win-win situation, right? So they are giving back to you by contributing to your software and making it better. So one example for this, I'll just share my screen. How people make it better, I just wanted to show you. So I received a PR pull request around a few days ago. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah. So I just got this pull request out of nowhere. So I just have this calculator software. I'll just show the calculator to you. So it was a college assignment, but I just made it myself. I just made it a little better and stuff. So this is how it looks on this browser. These are input fields over here where you can enter your values. So somebody just randomly sent me a PR that, oh, look, on Firefox your input fields are not even visible. So you put on you put out your software, and somebody it maybe helps somebody, and somebody is looking for something like your project or something, and if they find some issue, yeah, they do raise an issue, and they do tell you how to fix it and stuff. So apparently this was a known issue, and it could be solved with just one line. And exactly, so it could be solved with one line. Just I had to just set the min width to 0. So you get to learn so many things from things like this, and people come and contribute. Yeah, so this is one reason why you would want to open source something. Okay, so let me just stop presenting. Yeah, so this is one reason why you would open source something. You get to learn, people make it better for you, and you can just share your work just for the sake of sharing your work to the outside world. And for this point is valid only for big projects. So big projects like maybe Node.js and stuff like that. So basically, sharing projects like those online shows people how these big organizations are coding, and you can set a standard in the market, right? You can increase the adoption for your software, and you can set a standard which everybody else follows. Okay, so that is the reason why you would want to open source something. Okay, so and that is also, yeah, that is why you would open source something. Okay, so what is the spirit of open source? So there's this quote that I really like. We rise by lifting others, by Robert Ingersoll. So I really believe in that quote. We rise by lifting others. So you are sharing your software that might help others, and others are giving back to you by improving your software or adding a new feature, raising some issues that you have this bug or something like that. So it's a give and take situation. It's a win-win situation for everybody. So so the spirit is to collectively improve something while being inclusive, friendly, and kind. Okay, so there is no place for ego over here. And one more thing, being kind, friendly, inclusive, people want you to contribute and they will try their level best to get your contribution accepted into the repository. So even I'm a very small owner of some repositories. So even I get some pull requests that are not that great. So I tell them that, oh, please make these changes to do that. And even if then even if they make a mistake, even after that, I tell them, oh, please correct this. So basically, everybody wants you to be able to contribute, and it's a very friendly environment. Nobody will curse at you or mock you or anything like that. They will just guide you to the correct resources and try to get your pull request or contribution accepted. So yeah, that's the spirit of open source, being kind, inclusive, and wanting to contribute to something to improve it. Right. So now let's get to what exactly is Hacktoberfest. So any doubts till now, by the way? Any questions or anything that you didn't understand? Okay, I guess nobody has any questions. Just let me check the chat once. No doubts. Okay. So let's get to the Hacktoberfest part of this section. So what is Hacktoberfest? So it's a annual month-long event. It happens in October every year, and it is basically held to promote open source. And so what you do is you make four pull requests. Pull requests are basically contributions to somebody's projects. I'll show you exactly what pull requests are and how do you make them later on. So you basically have to make 4 pull requests to some project, maybe the same project or some other different projects, some worthwhile contributions to those projects, and in return, DigitalOcean, Intel, and Dev, they give you some prizes. This year's prizes include either a T-shirt or you can plant a tree. So one of those two. And right now, I'm wearing the 2019 T-shirt that I had got. So yeah. So that is what Hacktoberfest is. It's a really great initiative. It gets people into open source, and I am a live example of that. Hacktoberfest 2019 was the way I started, and so yeah, it's a really great initiative. Please don't misuse it. So coming to misuse, so what does Hacktoberfest not stand about? What is it not about? So if you, I don't know if you all know, but some YouTubers have made some videos where they show easy ways to get a free T-shirt. So that is absolutely not what Hacktoberfest is for. It is to promote open source, and as an added incentive, there's a T-shirt. So after four pull requests, your open source journey doesn't end, or it has just begun. Okay, so don't do it for the T-shirt. It is not about the T-shirt. It is about the community feeling. And yeah, by the way, I have an article that I had found, and it pretty much sums up the spirit and what Hacktoberfest stands for. So, and some other programs, some open source programs as well. So advice for beginners, never run for titles like outreachy intern, or GSOC student. What you should target is the learning part. Gain as much knowledge as you can in the process. That is the only asset you will have with you always. the stipend will end, the internship period will end, but the knowledge you will gain from it, the connections you will build, the family you will make while contributing to that organization is something that you will have forever. So essentially, that is what open source is about. So yeah, and what are the rules? So this year, because of all the spam that has been going on, so people making changes like if there's a heading, they just add one word to the heading or some random style changes without being asked and stuff. So there have been a lot of PRs like that, and maintainers were having a hard time with it, with the spam pull requests. So this year they made the rules very strict for everybody. Just bear with me. This might seem a little complicated, but the rules are your pull requests count if they are submitted during the month of October, if they are submitted to a public repository, and if the pull request is if the repository has a Hacktoberfest topic to it. I'll just show you what that is, and your PR has to be merged. So those are the most. These are not all the cases, but I'll just post a link for all the cases. You can go through that. It's quite difficult to explain it. There are way too many cases for it. Just a second. So the major rules are that it has to be a public repository. The repository should have a Hacktoberfest topic, and your pull request should be merged. So those are the main criteria. Now there can be other ways that your pull request is counted as well. So the second way possible is that it's a public repository. Then your pull request has to have the Hacktoberfest accepted tag. Okay, so these are the major two options that you can have. I'll just give you the links to all the rules so that you can go through them. Yeah. I've pasted in the chat, so you can go through the rules. So these were the two major rules. I'll just show you. I use the first rule, that is putting a Hacktoberfest topic in the repository and merging PRs. So I'll just show you what a topic is. So this over here, you should have the Hacktoberfest topic over here. So the first option is that the repository should be public. This is a public repository. Then it has to have the Hacktoberfest tag. Second thing, and the third thing is that your pull request should be merged. Okay, so that is the way I go about it. Different people have different ways to go about it. Okay, let me stop sharing. Okay. Now, getting to which types of pull requests should you make for Hacktober? So which types of pull requests can you make? There can be two options, either only for Hacktoberfest or okay. So I'll first tell you just about Hacktoberfest. So you should target issues labeled Hacktoberfest, good first issue or first timers only. So I can show you that as well, just so that you know what I'm talking about, and I'm just not speaking, just speaking. Okay. So if you go to issues on any repository, so for Hacktoberfest, try to target issues which have either this good first issue tag label or this Hacktoberfest label. Okay. So these are the types of labels that you should issues that you should target. So there are three for Hacktoberfest: Hacktoberfest, good first issue, and first timers only. Okay, so you can target these three. Please don't make random pull requests to just any repository. So there were a lot of screenshots on Twitter where some random repositories are getting style changes which they never requested or they never wanted. So people were just trying to make use of Hacktoberfest to get just a T-shirt. So don't do stuff like that. It won't work now because of the change in rules. But yeah, so I told you not to make random pull requests, but if you are on a project and you find that this project has some bug or something like that, you can always go and raise an issue. So you just click on new issue here and then just type out whatever problem you have. Okay, and just submit the issue. And then if the author or the owner or a maintainer gets back to you and says, oh yeah, this is an issue, thank you for raising it, so they might ask you to make a pull request. So you can go ahead and you can then go ahead and make a pull request and request them to consider it for Hacktoberfest. So something like that. So don't make random PRs, but if you find a bug or you want to genuinely improve something, then you can go and raise an issue. And one more, there is one more way. I'll just show you. My friend Karthik, I guess most of you all know him here. But if you don't, yeah. So you can see my stream, right? Yeah, my screen, right? Yeah. So he wanted to improve something on this processing repository. So what he did was that he first went and asked on their forum that, hi everyone, I would like to contribute to make the naming scheme better for new sketches. Okay, so on this forum, he posted this, he wanted to do this, and people, moderators and other people commented and told him that he could do this scheme could be better, that could be better. So then he went and decided, then he went and made the pull request and made these final changes over here. And even the maintainer over here has responded that, oh, you could do this, I could include this, but please make these changes. So stuff like that. So there are two ways. So either just raise an issue. If you're contributing to a random repository, just go and raise an issue that, oh, I found this bug, or I want to contribute this feature to your project. And if they allow you, then make a pull request, or you can directly go to their forum or IRC. They are chats. Chat applications or websites. I don't really know. So forums or IRCs, you can go to them and ask them that, oh, I want to make this contribution. Can I do it? And how can I go about it? So there are two ways to go about that. So that was what I wanted to tell you about types of PRs that you should make for Hacktoberfest. Now, in general, you can just when it's not Hacktoberfest season. Let me just stop sharing. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So when it's not Hacktoberfest season and you want to make a pull request, so how do you do that? So if the repository is really big, so what you do, you go and target either the good first issue or the first timers only issue. So these are the two issues that you can go and target to get started with that repository, because a lot of people, including me, struggle with contributing to really large organizations. And so these are the two issue labels that you can target first, and then get on to, as you get more comfortable with the repository, you can start getting to more serious issues. Okay. So, and one more point, documentation and typo corrections also count as open source contributions. So don't be afraid to do them. So yeah, this is one question. Do you have any doubts for this? What types of pull requests that you should make? Do you have any doubts? So Prachi is asking, how do you find good repositories having issues? You can just search for them on GitHub. On the search panel on GitHub, just search for Hacktoberfest or good first issues and first timers only. You'll find them. So which kind of PRs are usually tagged as first timers only? They are very easy pull requests, and they have an account on Twitter as well that you can follow, and you just keep getting updates on after. If people put that tag to their repositories, so you can just go and contribute. They are most of the times very, very, very simple and beginner friendly contributions. So do them for a while, like 6-7 of them, and then start trying to contribute to a little more difficult issue and stuff like that. So just use first timers only and good first issues to get started with something, but then move on to slightly difficult or slightly complex issues. um, can I just search for? I'm reading questions from the chat for anybody who's missing them out. Can you send a Twitter channel link? Just search for them. You'll find their channel. I mean, you just have to type the words in. Okay. So, any more questions? You can unmute and ask as well. Okay, I'm assuming nobody has any questions. Are you liking the session till now? Are you understanding stuff? Am I going too fast?
Everything is proper.
Okay. Thank you. So last question, last point for this subsection, this section of the talk. So the owner / maintainer's perspective. Okay, so I have some repositories on my account which got some pull requests because of Hacktoberfest. So I noticed the same pattern in most of the pull requests. So I just wanted to add this. This is not mentioned in the official page, but I just wanted to mention this because I just wanted to add this because I noticed this in almost every pull request that I got. So certain points people keep missing out. So I have 3 major points for you. So remember these points. So the contributing.md file on a repository is the file that you should always go to before contributing to the repository. Okay, so I'll show you what that file is, but please remember to go through the contributing.md file properly and follow those instructions before making a pull request. So the problem was with my repos was that I had certain instructions in the contributing.md file that you should follow before contributing, before a pull request, but a lot of people just skip those instructions over and just did what they wanted to. So I had to tell them, please go through that, please do it again. So don't make maintainers type that out, keep telling you to go there and do it. You should be aware and do that yourself. Okay, so I'll just show you what a contributing.md file looks like. By the way, all the content of this talk is on my repository if you want to go and check it, on my GitHub account if you want to check it out. So this is a project called Git Basics that I have, and its contributing.md file looks something like this. So it's basically telling contributors what to do. So this is how we set up the project locally. And one of the instructions that everybody was missing out was generating this file. For some reason, nobody was reading this out and just missing this entire part out and just making contributions. So please read this file. For if the repository does not have this file, then you should raise an issue that please add a contributing.md file. Okay, so it tells you what the file structure is like, and if you want further help, you can contact me and stuff like that. So the contributing.md file is the single most important file for.
Can't see your screen.
Your screen is not visible.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I didn't share it. I did. Wait, I'll try it again. Okay, so now you can see my face, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So this contributing.md file is the most important file that a contributor should read before raising a pull request on GitHub. Okay, so please follow these instructions, because then otherwise it just makes the maintainer's life difficult, that he has to keep reviewing your stuff and keep telling you to go back there and do your stuff. And so if you would have just done this stuff before, the maintainer would have to spend less time on your pull request, right? He or she, they is a better word. So they don't have time only for you, right? They have a lot of pull requests that are coming in. So please be mindful of this file and yeah, go through it before before raising a pull request. It's really important. Okay. So yeah, one more thing. So the next point is one issue, one PR, and small atomic pull requests and new pull requests for extra changes. Okay, so I'll just explain what this is. So basically, pull requests should be atomic and small in size. And so basically, So you usually raise pull requests because of some issue. Okay, so I showed you some issues that had the Hacktoberfest tag in them. So usually, I'll just show you a pull request that somebody's contributed to. Which one would be a good one? 23. Yeah. So this was the issue that I had raised, that I wanted the language to be changed for this. So somebody called whatever this username is. So somebody told me that they would like to take it, and so I assigned it to them. And then they started contributing, and then their pull requests were merged over here into my project. So pull requests are raised off of issues. Okay, so I mean, you don't always need to do that, but that's what is the convention, that you have an issue and you raise a pull request for that. Okay, so you have some problem or something that you want to add or something, contribute, and you raise a pull request of that issue. Okay, so now if I have told you to make one change in a pull request, or if the issue tells you to make one change in a pull request, then please do not go and make extra changes in that. Okay, so I'll just show you a live example of how somebody this was a PR that I got, and it was really, oh my god, where is my, okay, so yeah, this complication with big pull requests. Okay, so this was handling yeah, so this issue was just to split one huge CSS file into 3-4 different files. Okay, so that was the issue. Okay, but what this guy did, he made 3 changes. Okay, so I'll just show you the changes as well. So the only thing that he was supposed to do was split the huge CSS file into 4 different CSS files. Okay, but what this guy decided to do, he found out a small bug in my Python code, and so he corrected that change in this pull request. Okay, he added some or 0 and stuff so that it doesn't crash and stuff. Okay, and then he's done his job properly of splitting the CSS files and adding them to the correct HTML pages. Okay, so he's done his job perfectly, but he's done 2 extra things. First thing, he has changed some Python code that I did not ask him to, and in this CSS that he has put in different files, he has made his own changes to make the project look better. Okay, so now me as a maintainer, as the owner, it becomes so much more difficult for me to go through these changes, because here, now that he has changed the original file and made a new one, so I can only see everything as green. So I don't know what changes that he has made to his own changes. I mean, I can't see his own changes in this, right? So one, I have to go hunting for those changes, whether I like them or not, and then I can tell him that, oh, I don't like this change, please revert back. So I cannot do that over here because he's just changed it anywhere. And this Python code, I never asked him to do this, so this again becomes extra work for me. So if you find some issue like this, some bug like this, please raise an issue that, oh, there's a bug like this, so I would like to correct it. Then make a pull request for that issue, or directly raise a new pull request. Okay, so whatever you do, raise a new pull request or a new issue, and then a pull request, but don't include it in a pull request meant for some other issue. Okay, so it makes the maintainer's life difficult. So so that was what I meant by, oops, sorry. So that was what I meant by one issue, one pull request. Okay, and small and atomic pull request, that is just have the change that is asked for and no other changes. If you want to make extra changes, please go ahead and make new pull requests. Okay, so that was what I wanted to tell you about the owners and maintainers perspective. Do we have any doubts? And then we can move on to the second section of our talk. I'll just stop sharing. Do we have any doubts? So remember two major things for the owners and maintainers perspective. One is that please go through the contributing to run the file properly before contributing. And second thing, what was it? Yeah, sorry. Pull requests. So make proper pull requests, small atomic pull requests, and do only the changes that are asked for. If you want to do extra changes, that's good, but make new pull requests for that. Okay, it becomes easier to check smaller changes spread out. Okay, so I mean, I faced this, that pull request was difficult for me to figure out and stuff. So that's why I was like, oh yeah, this is something that irritates me. Now imagine I am somebody who's a nobody in the owner or maintainer or even the open source world. So imagine a big repository, a big project. If they get pull requests like these, how will they? It's so stressful. They have so many pull requests coming to them at the same time. Take a project like Node.js. Okay, so there must be lakhs of people who must be wanting to contribute in so many pull requests at the same time, right? So if you submit such difficult pull requests, how are they going to give you time, and how are they going to it wastes their time, right? So please make smaller pull requests. It really makes a difference. So in my case, I got irritated with a few pull requests, and I was like, oh my god, I can't even imagine how irritated those people must be who manage such big repositories. So yeah, be mindful of that. Make things easier for the maintainer and maintainer or owner. Okay. Any more questions? Mika, yes, there is a way to filter repos according to languages. I'm not sure how to do it, but yeah, there is a way that you can do it. Just look it up, you'll find it. Yeah, Karthik is giving his contributions in the chat. As usual, great contributions. Any more questions? Okay. Are you all liking the session till now?
Yeah.
Okay, Darshan seems to be the only one who can unmute. Others, just let me know in the chat if you are enjoying and understanding stuff. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. So now we move on to the now we move on to the second section of our talk. So this is going to be about involve lots of doing stuff. Okay. So just bear with me if and please in this section please do unmute and ask your doubts, because I'll be doing some coding stuff and showing you how to make a pull request, how not to make a pull request. If you make a wrong pull request, then what are the consequences that you can face. I'll be showing you all that. Okay, so if you don't understand at some point, please do let me know. Okay, so this is a hands-on type of, for me, hands-on type of session, not for you all. You are just seeing me do it. So do let me know if you don't understand something. So this section, basically what we're going to talk about two things. So Git and GitHub basics and how to make a pull request. Okay, so both of them have quite some stuff to discuss. So yeah, let's begin. Let's go through stuff. Okay, so first thing, Git and GitHub basics. So I'm shamelessly, most of you all know this, but I'm shamelessly going to plug my project Git basics. I did a crash course on Git and GitHub on YouTube, so you all can go view that. Let me just paste a link to that. So I'll explain what Git and Git. I'll go through some basics right now, but I will not go in depth. Okay, because this session was not for that. So I'm just posting a link in the chat. Yeah, I just sent that. Okay, great. We have Eddie on the YouTube live stream. That's great. If you don't know Eddie Jowd, please go and follow him on his socials. He's a great guy. And one more thing. I think I might be conducting one more session for this, and I might be getting Eddie to talk with me. So if you are interested, let me know after the session. So we have Eddie on the live stream chat and Saurabh on the live stream chat. Okay, great. And by the way, fun fact about Saurabh, he made his first. He's a great guy, and he made his first contribution for this year. So that's great. So I think last year he had contributed to a few more such. I think he had contributed to React last year. So that's great. So yeah, we have Saurabh on the YouTube chat. Okay, so let's get started with the workshop section, which is first Git and GitHub. Okay. I'll be sharing my screen. Please unmute and ask your doubts for this section. Otherwise, you are going to have a tough time later on. We don't need this. We don't need this. Okay. I think a lot of you all have seen this diagram before in the. I mean, a lot of you all were there for that. But for those who weren't there, or for the live stream, or for anyone who's watching later on, this is. I'll just go over the basics of Git and GitHub really fast. Okay. If you don't understand, you can go and watch my crash course. Shameless plug. Yeah. So let's get started with the working copy. Okay. So this is working copy is basically your local machine. Okay. So there are two things with Git and Git. There are two things. There is one is your local machine, and the second is the remote repository. Okay. Your remote repository is located on some server of some service like GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, or some other service. Okay. So remote repository is located in a server of some service like GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, and your local repository is located on your local machine. Okay. So okay, let's get started with the basics. So working copy. Now, by the way, you all can see my screen, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you. So the working copy is basically your computers. Okay, I'll just show it to you. Is where you keep your files basically. I should have kept this open, but okay. So this is the Git basics repository, local repository. So these files are in my working copy. This is the working copy base. This is the working copy. That is the directory basically. So your directory where you store your files is the working copy. Then then basically you have to send files from the working directory to your local repository. So that's your goal right now. Okay. So to get files in your local repository is your goal. So Git has a stage in between that. Okay. So what are we doing? We are going from your local machine into your local repository. Even your local repository is on your machine itself. This .git folder that contains all your information stored in a compressed and very safe manner. So your repository is over here. Okay. So this is your working directory over here. And once you go through certain steps, you get your files into the local repository. You tell Git that these are the files that I want to keep in the local repository. So please commit those changes. Okay. So to go from the working directory that is just having a file folder to getting it in the local repository, you have to go through an area called staging area. I'll not go into the need of the staging area right now, but yeah, you need to go through the staging area. So you just add files from here to here, and then you commit files from here to here. Okay. So to get files from just your directory to your local repository, you need to go through this method. Okay. Now, so now you finally got a file to your local repository on your laptop. Okay. So now from your laptop, suppose you want to send it to GitHub, GitLab or Bitbucket, whatever is your provider. I'm using GitHub. Okay. So to send your code from your local repository to your remote repository, you push code. Okay. So you can see push here. So you push code from your local repository to a remote repository. Okay. Now, suppose there's a developer, this is developer A, okay, he sent his code to the remote repository. Now there's some developer B who wants that code. So how will he get that code? Then the repository already exists here, okay. So he will clone that entire repository into his own computer, okay. Once he clones it, he has the entire repository with him. He can make whatever changes that he wants to make. Okay. He contributed some code to the repository and he was like, okay, now I want the remote repository with my code. Okay. So my new code. Okay. So I had told you if you want to send changes from your local computer to your remote repository, you have to push them. So that is why he has cloned the repository, made his contributions. Now he wants to push his new code, right? So he will just push the code back to the remote repository. Okay, so now I'll just go over the process again. Sorry, I'm repeating, but you need to understand this very properly. So you're taking files from your laptop and putting it on a local repository, and then from a local repository, you're pushing it to the remote repository. Okay, now there is some other random person who wants to contribute to your project. So what will he do? He will take this remote repository and clone it to his own laptop locally. Okay, so he will take it for himself, make his contributions, and then push it back to the remote. Okay, now developer A doesn't have the recent changes, right? Because this guy has developer B has pushed their changes to the remote repository, right? So to get the latest changes in the remote repository, developer A has to pull the code. Okay, so pushing is sending from local to remote, and pulling is to get code from remote to local. Okay, so just remember these 3-4 words. You have to commit files in the local repository. You have to push that code to the remote repository. If a third party wants to contribute, they can clone your remote repository, make the contributions, push it back to the remote repository, and if you want to get the latest changes from the remote repository, you pull the changes. Okay, I'll not go into the commands right now. When I show you how to make a pull request, that time I'll go over the commands. Okay, so to get this logic in your mind, to make you understand this properly, I'll just show you one more last diagram. So yeah, so this was the working directory. This is your local repository. This is your remote repository. Okay, so all of this stuff is in your local repository, in your local machine, and this remote repository is on a server of your chosen provider. Okay, so so I told you to get your files into the local repository, you need to go through some changes, through some stages. Sorry. So the first stage is that you have to add the files to the staging area. Then you have to commit the files to the local repository. Okay. So these two commands are for. Sorry, my bad. So these two commands are for. Let me just remove the. Turn off all notifications. Yeah. Let me. So I add the changes and commit it to the local repository. Now to send what I told you, please remember that sending code from local repository to remote repository is pushing code. Okay, so push code to the remote repository, and if you want back the changes from the remote to the local, then you use the command git pull. Now git pull does a git fetch and a git merge internally, so that's why git pull is not shown here. Okay, so git pull is a git fetch and a git merge combined. Okay, so this is the process. This is basically what is done 90% of the time with Git and GitHub. Okay, so does anyone have any doubts in this? Is everyone absolutely clear with this? If there is any doubt, please let me know.
Hi, hello.
Yeah, who's speaking?
I'm Tejas.
Yeah.
I had a doubt.
Yeah.
Is is there any difference between git pull and git clone? Like, what is the basic difference? Are they almost the same or
Yeah, I'll tell you. So there are two different use cases. Okay. So when you clone a repository, you initially don't have it. So developer B, if you remember the diagram, developer B did not have your remote repository to work on, right? He did not have the code locally. It was there on some server. So to get that code initially, he has to run a git clone, okay, to get that repository. But if now he has got the repository, he made some changes, he pushed his code. Okay. Now if some other person makes some changes and he wants to get the latest changes, he has to pull the code. So you clone when you don't have the repository to get the code from the remote repository when you don't have the remote repository initially. But you pull when you already have the repository, but there are some new changes in the remote repository. Got it?
yeah,
Sure.
yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yes, hi Harsh.
Hi, Parth.
Yeah, I had a question. So
Yeah.
you said the fetch and merge are a part of the pull. The
Pull internally executes a fetch and a merge.
Okay, so when we initiate a pull, so the file gets transported to the local repo or the directory.
So when you are fetching something, it goes to the local repository, and git merge merges the actual files in your working directory. The
Okay,
files
okay,
that you can view, it merges that. So fetch only gets to the local repository, that .git folder where everything is compressed. So it fetches the files over there in a compressed form, and then git merge actually merges the changes in your working directory, in the files that are actually present in your directory.
okay, got it, got it. Thanks.
Okay. Anybody else? Don't hesitate to ask doubts. This concept is basically the essence of Git and GitHub. So if you understood this concept, so you've understood maximum part of it. I mean, not maximum part of it, but this is the basic that everybody should know. Okay, I'm assuming that nobody has any doubts. If you still have doubts, you can keep asking. Um, okay, so if you have doubts related to this, you can ask me later as well. Please don't hesitate to ask. This concept is important. Okay, so let's go to our coding aspect now. How do you make a pull request? Let me just get some things ready for this. Okay. Yeah, so let's move to how do you open a pull request. Let me present my screen. Just let me know when my screen is visible.
It is visible.
Thank you. Okay, so let's just go to. So my friend Saikiran was good enough to make some test repositories for me. So I told you usually pull requests are based off issues. You can directly make pull requests as well. There's no problem with that. But yeah, most of the time there is an issue. So I've told him to create an issue here. So what does issue one tell us? Please add the words issue one to the README file. Okay. So I need to. So what I have to do is that I basically have to get a add the words issue one over here. Okay. So right now this repository is owned by Saikiran Jakkan /test2. It's owned by Saikiran. Okay. So how do I make this repository? So I need to make changes to this. Okay. So what do I first do? I go to this icon on the top right called fork. I'll fork this repository. So I'll fork it in my personal account. Okay, so what am I doing right now? From /test2, I'm making the repository harshkapadia2/test2. So I basically made a copy of his repository with into my account on GitHub. So this is all on the server right now. Okay, so /test2 was on the server. I made a copy of his repository as harshkapadia2/test2. That does not mean that I actually own the it will always show you that it is forked from /test2. Okay, so don't worry about ownership and stuff. Okay, so I finally have this on the server, but as a remote repository. Okay, even everything on the server is a remote repository, but now I have my own copy of his code. Okay, so now we need to get this locally, right? I can definitely make changes here on GitHub. Okay, so I can just add the word. This is what I basically have to do. Okay, I just have to add these words here. I can definitely do this via GitHub, but most of the times you have to make changes into code that you cannot do through GitHub. You have to test that code and stuff, right? So you have to do it locally. That's why I'm going to show you how to do it locally. Okay, so keep in mind I am copying the link to my copy of his repository. So it's called a forked copy. This is my local machine. I'm in a folder called PRs. So I'm going to open my terminal, open Git bash here. You can use any terminal works. I'm just going to use Git bash. Let me increase the font. So I don't have the, who had that out? I think Tejas had that out. Yeah, Tejas, can you just unmute and tell me? So I don't have the repository right now. So do I need to run git clone or git pull?
I think git clone.
Yeah, git clone, correct. So I don't have the repository right now. If you see the PRs folder, let me just make this small. Yeah. So if you see the PRs folder right now, it's empty. So I don't have the repository. That's how to run git clone. I'm going to paste that repository link and type .git at the end. Can you see this text properly? To increase the font size.
Yes,
Yes,
it's visible.
Okay, great. Okay, so it will clone that my remote repository into my local machine. Okay, so great. I have test2 locally. Now let me open it in my editor. I use Visual Studio Code, and I would recommend you all to use it as well. It's great. Increase the font size. Yeah, that's it. So let's go to the README file. Yeah, one more thing over here. Okay, so I'm running this command called git branch. Okay, what does it give me? It gives me that I'm in the master branch. Okay, it's on. It's up now. Yeah, let me just share my screen again. Where was I? Okay, yeah, I wanted to ask you all. Does everybody here know what branches are? So just in case someone doesn't know, so basically you have branches like this in Git. So your initial branch is your master branch, and then you have you can have more copies of your code in different branches of your code. Okay, so there can be structures like this. Your main code is here, and you have different branches of your code. So does anybody not know what branches are? Please let me know. I'll explain it properly. there's a different copies of your code where you can make changes simultaneously. Where suppose I am working on this issue, so I can keep working over here, and somebody wants to work off this copy of my code, so he can just take out a branch which includes all the changes till this point in the code, and he can make his own changes in his own branch, and then at the end they can be merged. Okay, so branches are basically that. So you have a, suppose you want to work off this copy of your code, so you take out a new branch from here and you start working on your own code. Okay, you keep these circles represent commits, by the way. So maybe this commit somebody wants to work, so they make a commit, they work on it, they make another commit, and they keep working on it. So the parallel development, basically there is parallel development going on. Okay, so you can just keep working on your side projects, side features and stuff, and when the feature is ready, you can just merge the code into the main branch, that is the master branch. Okay, so does anybody have any does anybody not know about branches? Do let me know, because then the stuff ahead depends on branches. So if you don't know what branches are, you're not going to understand stuff.
Harsh, I don't have much idea about branches.
Okay, who's speaking?
Vinaya.
Okay, great. I'll just tell you about it. Oh, sorry. So branches are basically so branches. What I just explained right now. You can do things parallelly because you can do things parallelly because of branches. So your master branch, every repository has a master branch. I'm not going into master versus main and stuff like that debate right now. Let's just call it master for now to make it less confusing for people. So the master branch is your main branch. Okay. So by default, your master branch is where your production code lies. Okay. So you have your production code in master. And if you want to suppose develop a feature, I might have a better diagram for this for you. Yeah. So this is your master branch. Okay. So let's take this as the master branch. So this is where your production code resides, the code that is deployed for the users. Okay. Now suppose you want to create a feature. So and one more thing, in the master branch, every time you are making a commit, you are actually making changes for the user. Okay. So every commit is an update. You can call it an update. Yeah. When apps are updated by the Play Store. I'm not saying that is what it is, but you can assume it to be that. So every new feature, every time you have something new, it's a new commit. Okay. So you can't just so you understand the fact that you can't just keep making commits randomly, right? Because every time you make a commit, the user might have to update. So that doesn't make sense, right? So what you do, you just you branch off this code. So this copy of this commit over here includes all the code that was present over here. Okay, and then you can start making a changes, maybe develop a side feature over here, keep developing your feature, and once you think it's ready, just merge it back into master. Okay, so now this code over here has this whatever changes were made in this commit as well as whatever changes in this commit. Okay, so this is your merge commit over here. Okay, so this is basically what branches are used for. Okay, did you get my point, Vinaya?
Yeah, Harsh.
Okay, anybody else? You won't understand stuff ahead of this if you don't know what branches are. Okay, I guess nobody's. If you still have a doubt when I explain, please ask. Okay, don't hesitate. Okay, so now that you know what branches are, so your master. So git branch is a command which goes to. So you are making a PR, by the way, pull request. So git branch is basically it is showing me which branch I am on right now. Okay, I am on the master branch. Okay, so the correct way to make a pull request is to make a branch and make your changes. Now, why you should not make your changes right on the master branch? I will show you why you should not do that. Just let's do a proper pull request right now. Then I'll show you what errors can happen. I'll do that code. I'll do that change over here and then show you. Okay, the wrong thing. Okay, so the correct way to make a pull request is to make a branch and then make your changes. Always remember, a pull request should not be made from your master branch. It is a bad practice. You should always have a new branch for your pull request. Okay, so let's just create a branch. Branch issue1. Okay, so the name of my branch is issue1 branch. Is the font visible for everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So let me just run git branch again. Yeah. So git branch is showing me that there's a branch called issue1 branch and there's a master branch. So right now I am in the master branch. Let me switch my context to issue1 branch. Okay. So now I'm in my issue1 branch. If I run this again, see, now I'm in my issue1 branch. Okay. So what I did right now, I'll just explain it to you. I'm going extra slow so that nobody misses out because this is important. So we were over here. Then at this point, I was like, please make a new branch. I need to make some changes. Okay. So I've made this issue1 branch over here. Okay. Now let's make our change. So, oops. Execute the file. Okay. Just let me check if it. Okay. So the inbuilt GUI is showing me that yeah, the file has been modified. Okay. I'll show you get. Yeah, it's showing me that the file is modified. Modified. Okay. So now that the file is modified, let me just take you back to Git basics so that you can relate well. Git add. Yeah. So we have some change here. We need to get it to the local repository, right? This aim is indicating that you have some untracked changes. Okay, you have something is modified. Okay, so it's not untracked, but no, untracked is the wrong word. There is some modification. So please put it in the local repo now. So we are here. We need to get here. What are the commands we need to run? Git add and then git commit. Okay, I'm not going into why the staging area is needed. You can go to my crash course for that. So let me just run the first command, that is git add. What do I want to add? All the files or modified file. .md .ns.md. Okay. So what did that do? Just let me show you git status. So it became a green M. Now I'm not going to go into the details of that, but yeah, it added it to the. It's just showing me that it added it to the staging area. Okay. Before this it was a red M. Now it's a green M after in the git add command. Now you have to run the git commit command. Every commit has a commit message. Okay, so every commit has to have a message. So where does that message reflect? I'll show you. See, initial commit. So your commit message will always reflect over here. Okay, so my commit message is modify readme.md. Okay, your commit message has to be in the present imperative tense and it has to be as small as possible. Okay, so and what is this #1 over here? Okay, so this is a very common practice that people do. What is this #1? I'll show you. So let's just go back to that issue. Okay. So in the original repository, the issue, what was the issue? What is the number of this issue? 1. Okay. When you include #1 over here, I'll show you how GitHub parses it when you make a pull request. Okay. So for now, let's just let it be. I showed you what this #1 is. It is the name of the pull request. Okay. It is the number of the issue. Okay. Of the issue, not the pull request. Sorry. It is the number of the issue. Okay. Now let's make this commit. Great. Now we have the file in the local repository. I'm sorry if you all know this, but I have to cover this. Okay, and I only for this I'm going through it so intricately. Afterwards, I'll just run the commands for the other part. So file is in the local repository. Okay, we need to get it to the remote repository. Before that, just let me show you. Git. I switch back to the master branch and check this file. See, the issue one is not present over here. Okay, so whatever changes I have made are only in the issue one branch. Now, if I check the README file, see, now I see the issue one over here. Okay, just wanted to make you aware of that. Okay, so now I have the commit over here. I have the commit in the local repository. I need to push it. Okay, so what do I do? What is the command to get from the local to the remote? Git push. Okay, so git push origin. I'm not going to what origin is right now. Origin, not master. Sorry. I'll just tell you what origin is. I'll show you after this. You need to know what that is. Okay. For now, just take it as it is. It is the name of your remote repository. And what is my remote repository? Harsh Kapadia / test2. Okay, my copy. That is the remote repository that I am going to push the code to. And from here, then I'm going to make a pull request to Scikit-learn's test2. Okay, the original test2. Okay, so I'm going to push my changes to my copy first. Okay, so origin is referring to me right now, my copy, my remote copy. Okay, so issue one, if you check the yeah, if you check here, there are no other branches other than master. Okay, so when I am going to do git push right now, I might have to do this. Don't worry about -u. And don't worry if you're not getting this. I have to make a few pull requests to get you through 2 or 3 scenarios, so you'll understand what pull requests are. Okay, so now my push is complete. If I refresh, okay, so it's telling me there is a push right now. So I'll just check some branch. Yeah, see, now we have the issue one branch. If you go to it, see, you can see issue one has been added here. But right now, it is in my local repository. Sorry, it's in my remote repository, but my copy of the remote repository, not in the original copy. Okay, so for that, I need to make a pull request. Okay, I'll make that. But before that, just let me show you this commit message over here. So modify readme.md, that is what we had written. We had just written a #1. So GitHub passed it to that issue over here. So you can, if you hover over this, GitHub is showing you the original issue in the original repository, that add issue 1 to readme. Okay, so that is why you add the issue over here. So it's a good practice. It's not compulsory, obviously. It's a good habit to add that, because GitHub parses it this way. It's helpful. So I'm making a pull request now. Okay, so note that I am making the pull request from the issue one branch to the original repo's master branch. You will always make the pull request to the master branch of the original repo, but from your remote repo, you will make it from the issue one branch or whatever branch name that you will give. Okay, so GitHub checked, there are no merge conflicts, so these branches can be merged. So if I want to write some changes, what are changes I have made? Okay, I've added issue, I have just written that. Then I'm going to create a pull request. And there you have it. And you have created a pull request. So this is the correct way to create a pull request. Any doubts over here? I'm going to stop sharing. Any doubts, please do ask me. This was the correct way to make a pull request. I'll answer why you can't do it from the master branch and stuff. I'll do the wrong stuff and show you. Any doubts over here? Did you all understand what I did?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Just let me go to the chat. Difference between switch and checkout. So Tanay, checkout is used for a lot of things. You can do all these things with the git checkout command, but Git has introduced two new commands, git branch and git switch, so that git checkout is it has a lot of uses, git checkout. Okay, so you can use it for files, branches, and different things. So to separate out all of those things, Git has introduced two new commands called git branch and git switch that I'm using. So it is better to use git branch and git switch and git checkout for other stuff.
Okay, so can you like explain that in the diagram I saw that the git checkout, what the git checkout does is uh, like uh, can you just open the diagram again? I had a doubt over
Yeah, I'm seeing the diagram. I don't think I will be able to answer that, but I'll show it to you. I don't really know that. I'm not, experimented as much. So this, right?
Yes,
Talking about
this
this.
thing. I always been puzzled by this thing. Like what
Yeah,
is that?
yeah. I have not experimented with Git checkout as much to answer your question, but I have used Git checkout uh, to replace some files and stuff. Let's not get into that right now.
Okay.
I don't really know how Git checkout works and the stuff. I have used it only for branches and stuff before, but I switched to Git switch and Git branch.
Okay.
So I don't really know much about Git checkout. Anyone else? Any doubts? Do ask. Okay. I'm assuming nobody has any problems. So we'll move on to the second thing in the PR section. So the first thing was, how do you make a proper pull request, right? So you fork it, then you fork it, then you clone your forked repository, make a new branch, switch to that new branch, make your changes, add it, commit it, push it to your remote repository, make a pull request from your remote repositories, issue one branch or whatever new branch that you created. From that new branch on your remote repository, you make it to the original remote repository. You make a pull request to original repository. That is how you make a proper pull request. Okay. Now there are two more things that I want to tell you. Let us go to the first thing, that is, why should you not do it from the master branch? Why am I telling you that it's a bad practice? Okay, so you need to know that, and I learned this through making mistakes. So I hope you all don't make the same mistakes. So I'm telling you all. Let me share my screen again. Share. Hide. Okay, why is it a bad practice? We're going to use a new repository for this. Let's close this, and this as well. Okay, so we're going to use test3. Again, Cyclone has been kind enough to make some repositories for me. Again, this repository has an issue. What is the issue error? It is again telling us to add the words issue1 to the README file. Okay, let's go through this quickly. So if you didn't understand what was happening last time, I'm going through it quickly again. Okay, so I'm forking it. I'm using my personal account to fork it. You might not have this if you're not part of some other communities. Okay, we have it as Harsh Kapadia slash test3 from Cyclone Jakkan slash test3. I'm going to copy this. Then I'm going to go to my Git bash. Git bash is pointing to that PRs folder. Okay, let me show you the folder. So the PRs folder has only test2 right now. So it's going to the PRs folder. I'm going to test3. So git clone, paste that URL over here, and then add .git at the end, and just press enter. Okay, it will clone it into a folder called test3, basically the name of the repository. Okay, so as you can see, it's done its job, and we have test3 over here. Let us open this in the editor. Control KO. Test3. Select folder. Okay, great. So let me run git branch to show you stuff. Faster. Okay, last time to create a proper pull request, what I was doing, I was creating a new branch over here. But here I'm not going to create a new branch to show you what is the problem with the master branch. Okay, so right in the master branch, we're going to make the change. We added it. I've saved. I mean, I've not added it. I've saved it. Now I'm going to just add it. Dot means all the files. Only the modified ones will be added. Let's not confuse you. I just use readme. Oops. Added it right now. Then I'm going to do a. Let me just show you the status. So it's a green M. It would have been a red M before add. Okay. Let me commit it. What is the issue number? Issue number is okay. It's going to be 1, but I'm just repeating it to show you. So, Lord. So the issue number is 1. Okay, I've committed. Now I'm going to push it. Okay, this time, I didn't. Oh, last time I didn't show you what origin was, right? Wait, I'll show it to you right now. Yeah, see, origin is basically an alias. What is an alias? Is a alias is a word that is used to represent something. So alias or AKA, as you say. So yeah, so that what is which repo is it? Harsh Kapadia's 2/test3. That is oops, yeah, my copy of the my original my my copy of the original repository, my remote copy of the original repository. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So that's what that is. That's what origin means. So I just wanted to show you that. Just ignore why it's there twice. One is for fetching and one is for pushing. Don't worry about that. So yeah, now I'm going to push it. Git push -u upstream. Don't worry about that. Origin. So I'm setting the repository, targeting it to the origin. So now you know what origin means. And which branch at origin? The master branch. So I'm pushing it. Okay, it's finished. Let's refresh. See, in the master branch, there is no other branch. The master branch, we have issue 1 over here. Okay, great. Now let's make a pull request. Able to mark. See, GitHub itself. No, don't worry. Okay. Just there's no problem. It's showing me able to merge and everything. There's no problem. Let's just create a pull request. Okay. I'm not going to add any comment this time. Just let's create a pull request. So I'm going from master to master. Okay. So from Harsh Kapadi to master. Okay. So from my master branch to his master branch. Okay. So you might be thinking, well, this is the same result as the previous one, right? So where's the problem? So I'll show you what the problem is now. Okay. So till now everything is perfect, right? Seems to be perfect. Okay. Now let me just make a change over. Maybe you're working on another issue. Maybe. Okay. So you say issue 2 over here. Okay. Maybe that was the next issue. Okay. So you save this. You go to the same thing. You add the README file again. Okay. Then you commit it again. If there was an issue, I would have added it in the brackets. Since there's none, then not adding any. Okay. Modify README again. All right. Now let me push it again. Let me just go to my. Okay, so it's pushed here. Let's just refresh. Yeah, we can see issue 2 over here. Okay. Now you must be thinking, what's the problem? So now let's go and check. See this. This was supposed to be part of another issue, but where is it reflecting? It is automatically reflecting in the first PR that you made. And why is that? Because whenever you make a pull request and of a branch and you commit to that branch again, that commit will automatically reflect in the pull request. Okay. So if you made one change that you were supposed to make, and then maybe you were targeting another issue and you made a commit for that, you pushed it to GitHub, to your repository, but it will automatically reflect in the commit that was for that branch itself. Okay, so are you getting the problem here? This was supposed to be in another pull request altogether. Maybe it would have been modify readme.md issue #2. Okay, so this is the problem over here. You are sending in commits that are not part of this pull request at all. Okay, so that's the second thing that I wanted to show you. So there is one more reason. So this is the first reason of the second point. So did you get this much?
Harsh, so this is the thing which says like you should always make different branches for different issues. So this is not because of the we are using master branch.
This is because I'm using master branch. If I have two separate issues, but I still use the master branch for both of them, I'm still going to face this problem where issue one is where
Yeah, I get that point, but the point is this is not because of we are using master branch. We are pushing say another issue on the master branch itself. That is why because
yeah, exactly what. So what most beginners do, they make a pull request of the master branch. Okay, they make a pull request. That's proper. Okay, but then the next time that they are supposed to make some contribution to that repository, what they do is that make a they make a commit on the master branch again, and instead of it reflecting in a new pull request, it reflects in the previous pull request itself. So
yeah,
that
yeah.
is why you should not use the master branch for making pull requests.
Okay.
Got it? Sure.
Yes. Yeah, got your point.
Anyone else? Any doubts here? Do let me know. Okay, I guess we don't have doubts. If you have doubts, please interrupt me. I'm fine with that. Okay, so now the third part. Oh no, sorry, I wanted to tell the second point in this. So why not master branch? One more reason. So the first reason now it pushes incomplete commits, and the second reason is that what if you want to sync your master branch with the original repository's master branch? Right. So you have made some changes. So the master branch contains the main production code, right? That is the main branch of your project. That is where your deployed code resides. Okay. So if in the original repository there are some changes to that master branch, so and if you have some commits that are not in that master branch, then how are you going to sync the two to get the latest changes from the original repository to your remote forked repository? Right, so you will not be able to sync those two master branches, right, to get the latest code from the original repository. If you have some unrelated commits that are not present here, it will not be able to sync it because it will show some error because it has some extra commits which are not present here. So that is the second reason why you should not make pull requests from the master branch, because you will not be able to sync the main code of the original repository if there is any change over there that you want to have in your forked repository. Are you getting that?
Harsh, just a question.
Yeah.
Like, if there is some problem with the master branch, say in the original repository, which I want to correct, so I make a pull request. So the that pull request will be directed towards the master branch, right?
All pull requests will be directed towards the master branch, but where will they be from a branch that you make? Okay, so
Okay.
suppose the name of the issue is issue 1, for example. So issue 1 branch, you will make the pull request from issue 1 branch, but you will always direct it to the master branch of the remote repository.
Okay. So I can create a branch by myself, and then I can, and I can add stuff to it, and then I can make a pull request for it. Okay. Yeah.
Anyone else? Do ask doubts if you have any issues here, because then things are going to get more complicated now. Okay, great. So the third and I think the final thing that I want to tell you. Okay, so I told you to make a new branch for every pull request, right? What if there are two issues which are related to each other? Okay, so you need two separate branches for them. Okay, because there are two issues, you need two branches. Okay, but issue one, there are two issues, issue one and issue two. Okay, issue two can be completed only if issue one is completed. Okay, so they're related in that way that you can't just independently do issue two and independently do issue one. If they were independent, then you could have just made two normal pull requests from their branches from the master branch. Make two branches from the master branch, do whatever they are supposed to do, and make a pull request. But if they are related to each other, that you can do the first issue first and the second issue second. If that is the case, then you have to go. Then you have to follow a certain way. So you definitely have to make two branches. But how do you have to make the branches? I'll show you. So in my example, issue one has to be tackled first before issue two. So issue one first, issue two second. Okay, I'll show you how to tackle this. Let's close this up. Let's close this up. Yeah, let's go here. So basically, this is how you tackle it. I'll do it and show you. Yeah.
You have not shared your screen.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah. So this is basically how you do it. So this is your master branch. You tackle issue one. Okay. Whatever you suppose you finished it over here. Okay. Issue one. Then you take issue two, which is dependent on issue one being finished. You take out a new branch over here for issue two. Okay. So you are basing this change off this initial change. Okay. You are not, if they were independent, then what you would do, there will be issue one and issue two right from here. You could take out two separate unrelated branches. Okay, something like this. Something like this. If this was for one issue, you take this issue out, you take out a branch and do your stuff. And if issue two was a separate unrelated issue, it doesn't matter. Whenever you just take a branch from the master branch and work on your stuff. But if issue one and issue two are related, that you have to do issue one only after issue. You have to do issue two only after issue one. Then what you have to do, you have to follow for a pull request. You have to follow this method. That you are first working on your issue one, and after between issue one, you are taking a branch from that issue one branch. Okay, this is really important to note. So I will show this to you, demonstrate this as well. But conceptually, did you understand what I meant?
Yes.
Any doubts? Anybody? You need to understand it conceptually. Okay. Do let me know if you not understood it.
Yeah, no doubts.
All right. Okay. Great. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to use a new repository for this. Okay, so test one this time. Okay, so this repository has issues. Okay, what does issue 2 say? Issue 2 add the words issue 2 to the README after issue 1 has been completed. Okay, so I have to complete issue 1 before issue 2. Okay, so we're going to tackle this first. Okay, so what am I going to do here right now? I am going to go to this repository. I'm going to fork it with my personal account. Basically, it's going to be the same process with some different changes at the end. For the first issue, it's the same as a normal pull request. Okay, so I forked it. Now I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go to my thing. I'm going to make this test one. Basically, git clone, paste the URL .git, enter. So it's going to clone it into the PRs folder with the name of the repository. It was test one. Okay. So now I'm going to open this in my code editor. Open. Okay, so as we are making correct pull request, this time I'm going to make a branch to contribute. Branch master. Branch. Okay, I'm in, just to show you, I'm in the issue. Oops, oh, thank God I checked. I have to switch to it as well. Let's switch. Here is where Git checkout was good. It was directly, it was doing, oh, it terminated. Okay, sorry. So here is where Git checkout was good, where it did this creating a branch and switching to it internally. So here I have to run two commands, but okay, issue one. Okay, so yeah, so we had issue one branch. Okay, so issue one tells us to add issue one. Okay, the word issue one. So I've saved it. I'm going to add it to the issue one branch. I'm going to commit it. By the way, okay, I use that period. The period means all the files that are modified. Okay, there is only one file which is modified, so only that will be added. Modify .md, and that was part of issue one. Was it? Yeah, issue one has a hash of 1. Okay, commit. Push it. Not to the master branch. Okay, I can take. Okay, let's just wait for it. Okay, great. It's pushed. Let me refresh. In the issue one branch, great. We have this here. Okay, and that hash one has been passed. Okay, so let's make a pull request now, because we've tackled issue one, right? Issue one is complete. So great, able to merge. Now I'm going to add a comment. I'm going to say create a pull request. Okay, great. We have a pull request, and okay, it's able to merge. Great. So the pull request is created. By the way, a pull request does not mean the code is merged. The author it's open yet. So the author, if it's closed, then it's not going to make include your changes. And if it's merged, then your code is in the main code base. Okay, so it's open right now. That means there's been no action till now. Okay, so we have made a pull request right now. We are all fine. Now let's go and tackle issue 2. Okay, what is the let's go to issues. And by the way, if you check issue 1, yeah, see, because I had written issue hash 1 over there, it reflects over here as well in the issue. So GitHub is nice in that way. So now let's go to issue 2. What does it say? Let's add the word issue 2 after issue 1 has been completed. Okay, so issue 1 has to be completed for me to go to issue 1. So issue 1 I've completed. Okay, so those changes should be present in that PR. Okay. So now what I have to do, which branch I am in? Am I in Git branch? I'm in the issue 1 branch. Okay, I'm going to make a new branch. Branch issue 2 branch. Orange. Okay, get branch issue 2 branch. Okay. I'm going to switch to it. Okay, I'm in the issue 2 branch. Now let's just add okay. Now git push. Oh, sorry. Add it first. I have to commit it. Because the issue name, issue hash, it was 2. Okay. So hash 2. Okay. Now I'm going to push it. Push it to a new branch called issue 2 branch. Push. Okay, great. Let's refresh our okay, this was the branch. Okay, so let's check. Yeah, we have issue 2 branch over here. So we go to issue 2 branch, and great, we have issue 1 and issue 2. So let me just show you. So in issue 1 branch, we only have issue 1 over here. So for issue 2 branch, we have issue 2. Issue 1 is present as well. Okay, so if they were independent things, then what would have happened? Issue 1 would be present in the issue 1 branch, but in the issue 2 branch, this line would not have been present at all if there were two independent commits. Two independent issues, we would have directly taken two separate branches from the master itself. Now make a normal PR basically. Forget about the second issue, just work on the first issue like you make a normal PR. So you would work on both issues like that. But here, as it is dependent, that's why I have to do that two branches thing. So to show you what we did here, there is a master branch. Here we took out another branch from the master branch and added issue 1, the letters issue 1. Then we took out a new branch to add issue 2 over here. So the changes of issue 1 were copied into this, and we just added on some stuff to this. Okay, so whenever you start a branch, so all the changes in the previous branch up till that point, wherever you make that commit, are reflected in the new branch. Okay. So basically, on a side note, so these changes, whatever this change represents, will not be present in any of these branches. Why? Because this branch was based off this commit, and this branch was based off this branch, which never had these changes itself. Okay, so these changes are never going to be reflected over here. Whenever you merge, they will be reflected together. All of the changes will be merged into the master branch, and then you will have the consolidated code at one place. Okay, so just wanted to tell you that. Okay, great. So now let us make a pull request from the issue. Okay, when the issue 2 branch, it is also showing us this. This branch is 2 commits ahead of Saikan and Jakkan's branch. So if we go to the issue 1 branch, if you go to the master branch, it is telling me that it is even. Okay, if you're going to the issue 1 branch, it is 1 commit ahead. What is the 1 commit? This modify readme. Okay, and now if you're going to the issue 2 branch, it is showing me it is 2 commits. That is the previous commit, that is the issue 1 commit, where we added this, and plus this commit. That's why it is 2 commits ahead of the original master branch. So Saikan and Jakkan master is the original master. Okay, so now from issue 2 branch, we're going to make a pull request. We already made a pull request from issue 1 branch. Now we're going to make a pull request from the issue 2 branch. Okay. I'm not going to add any comments. Create pull request. So here, now can you see? So here that previous commit reflecting is a good thing. Okay, here we require it because these two issues are related. If these two issues were not related and this was happening, this would have been bad. Okay, because these two issues are related to each other, that is why we need the previous history leading up to this second issue. We can't independently not have the not have this at all and directly have this. We can't have that. That is why this history being there in this pull request is important and is valid. Okay, and that is the correct way to go. Did you understand this? Please let me know.
Can you tell me why it was reflecting? I mean, I did not get why it was reflecting. I understand you created another branch.
Yeah, I'll show you why it reflected. So what did I tell you? Whenever you have a branch and you take out a new branch, whatever changes were present here are always reflected here. Okay, all the code is always there over here. Okay.
Yes.
Tanay?
Yes.
Yeah, so all the changes are present over, all the code that is present here is present here. Okay, you made some changes. Okay, then you took out another branch. So the new changes that you made in issue 1 are going to be present in issue 2.
Yes.
Okay, and issue 2 will have its own changes.
Yes.
Okay, so when you compare issue 2 with the master branch, how many changes are different? How many differences are there?
Both
1 or 2?
Both. Okay. I get it.
Got it. So what we are making a pull request from issue to branch to the master branch. Okay. The pull requests are always to the master branch. Okay, so we are requesting the master branch, please take my code. So if he takes this code, then he should reflect all the history that is present as well, right? So there are two changes present over here that is not present in the master branch. That is why it is reflecting the history, because we are comparing this change with the master branch. Got it? Did you get it, Tanay?
Yes.
Okay, anybody else? Any doubts?
Yeah. Hello, Harsh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, who's speaking?
I'm Kamal.
Okay, tell me, Kamal.
So now we have two pull requests to the original repository.
Yeah, the master branch of the original repository.
Yeah. So now when the repository owner come to this repository, which one he gonna merge? I mean, he
Good
has now
question.
two one.
Yeah. Got your point.
Yeah.
Okay. So here the logical thing to do would be, first merge the first pull request and do the second pull request, and then merge the second pull request. You can directly merge the second one as well because it has the previous changes. Okay, so you're not going to have problems if you directly merge the second pull request and ignore the first one. Okay, you're not going to have problems because it has all the changes. Okay, but what would be preferable is you first look at the first issue, and yeah, this ties in nicely with my second point. So the second point that I wanted to make for this third point, this is third part of the pull request thing. So there's a second point to this. So what if, his question was that there are two pull requests, so which one should I merge? So right now, because the changes are easy and simple, you can say that, oh, you can merge pull request 2, there's no problem, because it contains the history of the previous branch as well. But in real life, what if issue 1, you had made some changes in issue 1, and you were like, and the owner was like, oh, but these issues, this change, I want it a little different. So could you just make a change in issue 1? Could you just make a change in issue 1 so that it becomes correct? Okay. So basically, what will you have to do? You would have to do this. Okay. So you would have to make a change in the issue 1 branch. Okay, I'm going to do this and show it to you. Don't worry. Okay. So what if the owner says that, oh, the change in issue 1, I wanted something different, a little different. Can you just change this small part? So you say, okay, I'll change it. And in the issue 1 branch itself, you make a new comment. Okay. So now, if he merges issue 2 directly, he will not have this change, right? Because issue 2 branch only has changes above this. So he will not have these new changes, right? So that is why he has to first merge the issue 1 pull request and then merge the issue 2 pull request. Are you getting me?
Yeah. Thank you. I get it. Yeah,
Did everyone else get that as well? Because I'm going to demonstrate that, but conceptually, do you understand that?
Yes.
Does anyone have any doubts? Okay, I guess, let me just check the chat. Can I just ask, can you also explain the syncing with upstream? I'll answer that in the open discussion after this.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, any doubts related to this right now? Anybody? Okay, great. If you have, please ask. Okay, please interrupt me while I'm talking. I don't mind. Okay. So let's demonstrate this, wherein the owner asks you, oh, I want a change in the issue 1 branch. Okay, so what you do, you go back to your code editor. Which branch are we in right now? Branch. We are in the issue 2 branch. The owner or the maintainer told us to make a change in the issue 2 branch, issue 1 branch. So you switch to that branch. You switch to that branch. Okay, so maybe the owner told you that I don't want this space. Okay, you made this change. You've done this, and you're like, hit push, sorry, add the change, make a commit. This issue is this a part of? This is a part of the first issue. That's why I'm writing #1. Okay, I've committed it. Now I'm going to push it. Someone unmute and tell me which branch do I need to push this to? Anybody? Guys, girls, everybody? Anybody? Which branch do I need to push this to?
It should push to the issue 1 branch, I think.
Yes. Did everyone understand that? If you're not understanding, please let me know. Okay, so I pushed something. Let me just check. As usual. I can't spell my own spelling. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's go to the issue 1 branch. Okay, so now this is 2 commits ahead. Okay, so we've made a commit to this. We've removed the space in between over here. Okay, it's reflecting over here. Let's see whether it has reflected over here. We go to the pull requests and we'll go to the modify issue. See, it is that automatically reflected in this branch. So whenever you make a commit to whichever branch that you have used, it's automatically going, when you push it to GitHub, it's automatically going to reflect in the pull request. Okay, so we made it to the issue 1 branch, so it reflected in the pull request that we made for the issue 1 branch. See, this pull request is from the Harsh Kapade to issue 1 branch. So all the all the pushes to issue 1 branch will reflect over here. Okay, but now in the issue 2 branch, this change will not be reflected. Why? Because I told you, because this change is here after it has been forked. So changes before this that are not present in the master will be reflected here. But the changes that are made to this branch after this has been forked will not be reflected here, right? Because it is not aware of any changes after this point. Okay, it is only aware of changes before this point when compared to the master branch. So this peer, so in this case, now issue 1 will have to be merged before issue 2. If issue 2 has to work properly, then all the changes in the issue 1 pull request have to be merged before issue 2. Okay, for issue 2 to work properly, if issue 1 is if issue 2 is dependent on issue 1, then only if issue 1 is proper will issue 2 work, right? That is why issue 1 ka pull request has to be merged before issue 2's pull request. Did you get that? Did everyone understand that? Okay, great. If you're understanding stuff, just unmute and say yes or type it in the chat, because this stuff is a little confusing. So I need to make sure that you all understood that. So just type a yes or unmute and say yes. I see Milan, Parth, Bhavesh, Sharan. What about the others? Harshan, Vinaya, Tushar, Varun, Yash, Tanay. Again? It's fine. Okay, great. Okay, I had a unable to what if we want the changes of branch 1 in branch 2? Can we do that? Changes of branch 1 and branch 2. Yeah, you can definitely do that. You can pull the changes in. Yeah, you can do that. Why not? Why not? What you can do, you can go to branch 2 and pull the changes from branch 1. I've never done that, to be honest, but I think that should work. Yeah, wait, let me try that. I don't know if this will work. Okay, so I'm just going on a. Okay, wait, we'll try that. Wait, let the official session end. Then we have a open discussion stuff after this and networking. So I'll showcase. I'll try to do that right now. Okay, I'll do it. Don't worry. Let's keep the things going straightforward right now. Anything else, people? Or did you all understand that? Okay, so I have one example to show you of that. I mean, I had an issue like that in Git Basics, that you had to complete one issue before the second issue. I'll just show it to you so that you are more clear. Yeah, as you can see, this is the last thing that I have to show you. So you all will be finally free. Thank you so much for sticking around, by the way. So yeah, so this issue, there's a note here, tackle this issue after issue number 23. Okay, so let's see what issue number 23 says. So issue number 23 says correct hyperlinks to text, basically use some meaningful text. Okay, so where was this handled? This was handled in issues 46 and 49. Okay, so let me just show you 49 because it's the latest one. Okay, so all these are 23, 23, 23. Okay. Okay, great. Then I merged this. Okay, I have merged this because the issues, things were fine. Okay, then so let's go back to the original issue, which was 28. So 28 wanted 23. So 23 was merged. Okay, 23, the changes in 23 were fine, and I merged the pull request. Okay, so 23 is done. Now we need to get to 28. Okay, so where's the pull request for 28? Here is it. Here it is. So see, for this 28, there's just one commit for 28, but the history is showing here. So that means this person, whoever has made this pull request, knew what to do, and they have first made a pull request for that, and made a new branch of that branch that they had made. Let me just show you that pull request again, so that you can see that that branch is not the master branch. Sorry. Where is the pull request? 49. See, the first issue, that is 23, was made of remove link on picture branch, and the issue and the final issue, that was 28, was made of the external link in new tab branch. Okay, so this was made of one branch of the master, and this was made of another branch of the initial branch. Okay, so I just wanted to bring that to your notice. And finally, after, so see, so she had missed some things. I was like, can you keep the original text for this? And you've forgotten this something. So I told her to do that. Then she had some doubts. I answered them. She couldn't figure out something here. So I answered them. You go on keeping on doing stuff like this. And then you finally, once you basically want them to complete their pull request, right? So you keep helping them whenever they want. And then you merge the pull request. Okay, so that was what I wanted to show you, a live example for this third point that I wanted to make. So for pull request, there were three major points. How do you make a proper pull request? So I've shown you that you just make a new branch. Then why is it a bad practice for master branch? There are two problems with it. One, that the commits automatically reflect in the pull request, and syncing with the original repo's master is not possible. Okay, if you don't know about this, just don't worry. Okay, you can watch Shameless Plug. Let me check. Okay, we're up and running. Yeah, I'll just continue. So yeah, first way to make a normal pull request. Then why is the master bad? Because second point was why is the master branch? Because it has master making a pull request through the master branch is bad because there are two problems that commits are automatically reflected in the PR, and because you don't want that when the pull requests are unrelated, you don't want them automatically reflecting, and you cannot sync it with the original repo's master branch anymore if you have stuff that is not merged or those changes are not merged in the original repo. You cannot sync it again. So that's a problem. Then that is because of the fast forward concept. If you don't know that, no worries. You aren't missed anything. But if you want to know what that is, you can go to the Git Basics crash course that I've done. Shameless plug. Then the third point was how do you tackle two related issues and then add to just one of them. Okay, so I've shown you that as well. Just adding to one of them as well, and then I'll show you a live example of that as well. Okay, so that ends the stuff that I wanted to cover for this session. I think I've ended it perfectly, almost on time. It's 5:10 right now. So this is the formal end of the session. Now, if you all have seen the schedule, it says open discussion and networking from now to whenever you all want to discuss anything. So yeah, I think I'll be ending. No, let's not end the live stream. Let's keep it going. So anybody having any doubts now related to anything can ask related to Git, GitHub, or maybe some stress related issue or anything, literally anything. So, and we can just have a nice chat now. If anybody.
I had a question to ask. How
Yeah.
do you maintain your projects? Like when the dependencies and stuff, like they go out of date or get outdated. How do you like?
So, yeah, great question. I'll just show you this because it has happened with me. So GitHub has a great. Okay, so we don't need this anymore. By the way, all this stuff that I showed you is properly is put up here, so you can just go and see the content. Oh, by the way, yeah, you all should join our tech community. Why did I not show you all this? So this is our community that we have, and this was the first event of our community. So if you want to join in, please do. We have a lot of people. We discuss a lot of stuff. People ask doubts. We share some resources, and we have great stuff here. And yeah, by the way, HTTP3 is coming if you didn't know. So yeah, we share stuff like this on this group. We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of discussions. So do join in. It is a great community, at least in my opinion. Obviously, I'll be biased. So I'll just paste a link for that in the chat. I'll not paste it, I'll type it. If anybody here is not in the community, so please join in. Great. So that is done. So yeah, I was telling you that, yeah, so everything is there right here. So you can just go and check it out. So all my articles and everything are listed here. Articles, you can find them here, docs, and my projects and stuff, you can find them here. So whatever you need, you can find it here. And what was, there's some, yeah, dependencies, yeah, right. So there's a project, yeah, one or two. See, so GitHub has a great service known as Dependabot. Okay, see Dependabot. Okay, so what that bot does, it checks, it itself keeps the check on your packages and stuff. Okay, so my packages and everything is listed here. This is a Python project, so it has a requirement of TXT file. So TensorFlow, where are you? Here. So this guy here, my software is using version 2.3.0, and there's a new version called 2.3.1. Okay, so it has made a pull request itself. See, Dependabot. It has made a pull request to bump TensorFlow 2.3 from 2.3.0 to 2.3.1. Okay, so whatever release notes, change log, it gets everything from the official sites and stuff. Okay, so see it says here sourced from TensorFlow's changelog. So it gets everything for you and does stuff. So and usually such changes will not make much of a difference. And if you have critical issues, then it will show you that there is a critical security problem. See here it's showing a moderate severity. Okay, so this is a great service by GitHub. You can enable it from the marketplace. I think it's a marketplace where you enable it. Depend about E and I guess I forgot where you enable it from. Preview. No, not this. But yeah, there is the depend about, and there is also one more bot that I really like called image bot, IMGBOT. So it basically compresses the your pictures. Whenever you push it to GitHub, it compresses the pictures and generates a new pull request for the compressed pictures. So that's great. Lossless compression obviously. So that's great. Reduces memory. So I hope that answers your question. Or do you want me to talk about some more stuff, Tanay? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Now the platform is open for literally anything you want to ask me, anything. Ask anyone here anything. So you're just free to do that because it's just open discussion networking now. So feel free.
Harsh, I have a question.
Go ahead, Parth.
Like when we make a repo, so like it should look properly structured, right?
Yeah.
Even the readme and everything.
Yeah.
So could you give some tips on that? How to write your repos?
I would prefer not to. Why? Because you discover that yourself. I discovered that myself. My first inspiration, by the way, was Saurabh's um, text to handwriting project. His readme was and contributing.md was really pretty. I was like, whoa, what is this? And so I my first Git basics uh, look was his stuff copied and just replaced it with my stuff. So that is how I took inspiration, and I just copied his stuff. But I got some new sites from his own readme. So there was something called imageshields.io and stuff. So all that stuff, I revisited those sites, and then I got to see how they have those shields in their repos, which have those numbers and stuff like that. So yeah, that is you discover things yourself. If you really want something, then Git base. I have included stuff in Git basics. I just show it to you. So Git basics. Just go to this section here, making a repository contributor friendly. Okay, so this lists out all the things that you should have. Okay, so your README file, how should it? If you want to learn Markdown syntax, then what are the things that it should maybe have? This sample template. It does not need to have to follow. You do not have to follow this, obviously. Then you can find those shields over here. I'll just show you how those shields look like. See these shields that people have. So I found this out from Saurabh's repo, by the way. Shout out to Saurabh. He's a great guy. Then your contributing.md file. You can see a sample template, like all about licenses, all about the COC, code of conduct. Then issues. How do you make issues? Good first issue, first timers only. So basically, this section you want to go to this section for good structuring and stuff. Okay, I have examples over here and templates over here. Making a repository contributor friendly. Okay, so for Hacktoberfest or any owner, maintainer, or just anybody in general who wants to make a repository friendly, look good and stuff. So yeah, this is the section that they want to go to. Is the answer?
I'll go through this. I'll go through.
Yeah. Thank you. Anyone else? Feel free to ask questions. Please feel free.
Adding to Art's point, there's this great in-browser editor for README. It has helped me, so just check it out. I'll just post the link.
Yeah, please do. You're Tushar, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I couldn't see your name. stackedit.io. Let's see what that is. By the way, anybody who is we are officially done with the session. Okay, so anybody who wants to leave can leave, and anyone who wants to stay can stay. It's an open discussion now. Y'all can, if you all want to, y'all can unmute and show and switch on your cams as well, so we can have a really informal session. So let me just see what stackedit is. Nice. I'll have a look at this properly. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody having any such resources, feel free to share stuff. You all can unmute and chat, by the way. You all don't have to type everything out.
So I've contributed during this Hacktoberfest. So there was a thing which is called all contributors thing. So
Yeah.
that was a really pretty thing. Like they add your name to the README file, and that keeps showing to the everyone who comes to the repository. So
Yeah,
this
to be honest, don't do that for Hacktoberfest because that's not what it is aiming for. So yeah, one more thing that I would like to tell everybody who's present here. How many people are present? 12. Okay. So thank you for waiting, by the way. Out of 30, how many? 35 people I think joined. So 30 people joined. So 35 I think at max, and 12 have remained. Thank you, these 12 people. You are the ones who stayed. Thank you. So yeah, so what was I saying? I forgot. What was I saying?
He was asking about the all contributors bot, and you said never do this in
Yeah.
Hacktoberfest.
All contributors bot. Okay, sorry, my bad. I assumed something else. Sorry. I assumed that you were talking about just contributing to a repository, just adding your name to README and that.
no,
Of
not that bad.
Okay,
Sorry.
sorry, my bad.
Obviously,
Okay. So, what do you want to know, Darshan? What do you know about that?
I don't want to know about that, but I was just saying things out like
Oh,
that you can also add that to your readme, and like this was like the good thing which I have seen in the like in the Hacktoberfest. So
absolutely. I came across two such bots. One was all contributors bot, and one was the Mergify bot. So, if there is an suppose a repository has a owner and a bunch of maintainers. So now if you can change the count according. So I'm talking about the Mergify bot right now. So if two or more maintainers slash owners or accept the changes, then the pull request will be automatically merged without any you know we wouldn't have to wait. So you can change that count more than two, more than three. So if three owners or maintainers have accepted the changes, then the pull request will automatically be merged. So it's helpful. These bots are really helpful.
and anyone has tried to integrate CI/CD in their projects?
No, that was what I was thinking about. I mean, that
Yeah,
helps.
I was trying to do that stuff in my Flutter package, so that thing just took me up now. Well, I just merged that branch, so I don't know. I just do that thing only.
So I guess that can work instead. So suppose we make some changes to the master. So it is the doubt which is asked over here. I am unable to uh, branch one and branch two. If you have to, if you want those changes, then it works very similar to master to branch one. It is as good as that. So Harsh did say that he'll try that out. So I guess he can try that out right now. It's basically just pulling the changes. I think it will work.
Yeah, even I think it will work. Let's see. Let's try it right now. So I'll present my screen. Whose doubt was it, by the way? Are you still there in the chat? Kamal or somebody, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Go
was
ahead.
your doubt, right, Kamal?
No, not mine.
Oh, not your. Okay. No worries. Okay, no worries. Oh, that guy. I don't think he's there. It doesn't matter. Okay, I'll just share my screen. Okay. Karthik, you've been awfully silent. Okay, so which branch am I on? Go to issue 2. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here, just to explain it once more to people, on issue 1, there's an extra change that is not present in issue 2. Okay, so I switched to issue 2 right now. Let me just show you. So yeah, so I switched to issue 2 right now. So on issue 2, I'm going to try to pull changes from the issue 1 branch. I've never done this before, but let's try this. So I would do git pull origin issue 1. This can lead to merge conflicts, by the way. So yeah, let's try this. Yeah, merge conflict. So okay, we solve a merge conflict here. So yeah, so it is showing me, well, this is a GUI, so it's very easy to, I mean, it's easier to see stuff here. But I'm very bad at it. I have hardly ever dealt with merge conflicts, to be honest with you, people. So yeah, I'll be using the GUI for this. I have absolutely no, I have hardly any experience with merge conflicts. Okay, so it is telling me the incoming changes are issue 1, issue 2 both, and the changes are already present is the issue 1 change. Okay, only issue 1 being present. Or no, wait.
Yeah, that's
Karthik, are
the
you there yet?
issue
Oh,
one
I
is
guess
the
Karthik
income.
is not here. So does anyone know this stuff? I am really not that great at this.
Except the incoming issue. That's what you
Yeah, I know,
incoming.
I have to do this, but does anyone remember the representation for this? I think I have written it in Git Basics. Just a minute.
Just
What
remove
I
that
used to
head
do is
part.
I just remove the extra part and keep
Yeah.
with the changes I want.
That's what I do. Yeah, that's exactly what I do, because I don't understand. I don't remember that basically.
Bro, everyone does that.
Okay, so I'll just accept the incoming change. What? You just replay?
Yeah,
What?
it will replace it. It was showing you either you
You
keep
can
the current
merge
change, which was issue 1, issue 2, or you keep the take the new change, which was issue 1, and no line.
Accept current change. I guess that is what I have to do. Yeah, current change, right? I have to accept the current change, right? Because oh
Yeah.
no, yeah. So yeah. Agreed. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, we did the correct thing. My bad. Issue 1 doesn't have space here. Sorry. I got confused. I confused myself. Okay, accept incoming change. Yeah, that's correct. So yeah, we can do that, but it will replace everything. That is the problem. So what we could have done here is that we could have done this. Maybe
I
done
guess
this.
you should
What happens if
merge,
we accept both?
merge.
I'm not really
Harsh,
sure basically.
yeah,
Accept both changes. Okay, what does this do? Sure. There. Okay, nice. So you all got the gist, right? You understood it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so see here. I was trying to pull it. It fetched the stuff, right? It fetched the stuff, but it said automatic merge failed. So I was telling you, right? Git pull executes git fetch and git merge internally. So yeah, automatic merge failed. Oh, it still has a conflict. Damn. Okay, let's reset this.
Harsh, try to merge the branch one, branch one to the branch.
Okay. Yeah, merging the merging. I think merging will also give you an error. Give you a conflict. I don't know. Let's try. Git merge. I'm in branch 2. Okay, so git merge to one branch. Conflict. Yep. Conflict again.
Go to the compare changes, like select the compare changes, what it does. Okay, just shows you.
It just shows you the differences. So basically, you are supposed to go and manually modify the file. Basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is definitely going to have a conflict, right? Because you are changing the same line and stuff, right? And you have changes which are not present and stuff. So it was going to show you a problem, merge conflict. Let's read that again. Okay, so that's that. Anything else, anyone? So did you all like the session, by the way? Did you all learn something? Did you all gain something from it?
Yeah, really like it. It's real clean. I learned a lot from it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was the aim, right? So,
And Harsh, I have a question.
yeah.
So now you showed us how to open the pull request and how to send them to the original repo. So now if we think now I want to contribute to that original repository for a long time. I mean I need to contribute, keep contribute, right? So after when I push my first 2 or 3 requests, and they will merge. So owner will merge. So after 2 or 3 days, I'll see he has more issues in his repository. So now I want to.
He has what?
I mean, he opened few many issues in his original repository, right? So now I want to resolve them. I mean, I want to open pull request. So now but my remote copy is behind some commits. I mean, many developers have contributed to the original one, but my one is behind. So now what should I do? I mean, should I fork again or?
No. So you sync your master now. So what you do, the Karthik is allowing. Okay. So what do you do at this point is that you allow the what you don't allow, sorry, you sync your master, your forked repos master with the original repos master. Okay, so you have the proper code now. Okay, whatever changes that have been merged or he made some new changes, whatever changes are there in the original repos master branch, you have them in your repos, your forked repos master branch, and then you can just pull those changes locally and make a new pull request, resolving whatever new issues that he created.
I mean, it's automatically happen, or should we click some button?
You have to sync yourself.
Can you show them? Can you show it?
Yeah, definitely. It's nothing much. I'll show you. But how do I demonstrate it?
Kamal, I think the commands that you require are given by Tushar in the comment section. Just see it once. You need those to sync the folks, and then you can create a new branch and accordingly put the pull request from that branch.
Yeah. Just giving the commands will not. Maybe you'll not understand. Demonstration will make it clearer.
Maybe you can explain what does the command does, like remote.
Yeah. I can do that. Okay. So what do you do when you want to sync it? Okay. So you in your cloned repository. Okay, this might be a little complicated. So if someone does not understand this, there's an article I've written it in Git Basics. I'm going to explain it right now, but it's a little, you might get confused. So I'm just going to paste the link in the chat. I have explained it and everything over there. Okay. So what do you do in such a case? I'll present my screen. Okay. Thinking. I got it. Waiting for a second. Thinking. Oh. I wanted to show you this. Sorry, my bad, my bad. Okay, so if you check the remote, you have this origin over here as your forked repository, right?
Yeah.
So what you do is you add that original repository as a as another remote. So how do you do that? I'll explain it properly. Don't worry. Or give it any name. Maybe like give it Kamal. So any name is fine over here. Okay. So origin 2. And you paste the link of the original repository. For this, it is this, but with Cycle and Jakan. It's not. Okay, so I'm just adding a new origin. Okay, so this is the original repository. Okay, so now if I do the -v, you see origin 2 has been added over here. Okay, which is the original repository.
All right, all right. I get your point. I got it, got it.
Got it, right? You will just pull the master branch. You will go to the switch to the master branch or git switch
Yeah,
master. I'll just show it now. Now that you asked, now that you're doing it,
all right.
you switch to the master branch. You just run git full origin to okay. You just do this, and everything is up to date. So it won't make any changes for now. Okay, and then if there were changes, what you would do? So you have them locally now. Then you would just do git push origin master. So you are
Yeah.
just pushing whatever changes you have, new changes in your forked repository. So now your master branch is synced.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you. I got it clean.
No problem. If anyone still didn't get it, you all can refer to the article that I've shared. It has the same steps. Can you show in
Thank you,
short
Raj.
what
Thank you.
things happen at maintainers end when maintainer receives a PR? Okay, so from my limited experiences of receiving PRs, I'll just show you. So which PR should I show you? Yeah, actually, I showed my PRs right throughout the talk session, whatever. So let me show you some of the ones that were. These were the accepted ones. So this is Karthik doing his crazy stuff. Small typo. So yeah, there's an issue. Then somebody comments on an issue. I'll take this one. Then then usually you assign them over here. I forgot to assign them this time. So you assign an issue to somebody so that nobody else takes up that issue. Like for example, Tushar has an issue right now. Which Git basics? Tushar should have an issue right now. Yeah, replace master by main. So yeah, so this is a good example. So he just raised this issue out of nowhere. Thank you, by the way. So I responded with some stuff that I don't think it's required right now and stuff like that. He gave me some proof that see people GitHub is using it. And I was like, oh, I didn't know this. Okay, so then I dived into it. Then I properly looked into it and saw some repos. Then gave a very elaborate response to him. So we decided to include this stuff, a little part of this stuff in the repository, and he responded to some of my points, and then he had some questions that he didn't understand some stuff. So I respond to whatever he has. I don't have to make direct changes to the file, right? So I said you don't have to make the file changes, and basically answer whatever questions people have. Okay, so okay, this is new. I've not got to this right now. This is where I have answered him. Okay, so this is he just opened this just before the talk started. So Tushar, I'll get back to you. And that is our notifications. So yeah, I can show you notifications. There's no problem. So basically, whenever I have some stuff here, so see, this is now grayed out because I saw that. I have to remember to get back to it. Okay. Um, yeah. So basically, this is how you keep receiving pull requests, and whenever you're done with them, the icon here changes. This is an open pull request, so maybe it will become a merged pull request and stuff. So I'll just show you some of the done ones. So see, when they become merged, you just so when you don't want them in the front page, you just go do this and do done. So if you go to the inbox, I click on this and I select done if I'm done with the issue and stuff. So that is how we basically handle stuff on. I handle stuff at least. Okay, so I receive pull requests. I tell them to make some changes. Okay, I'll show you one more change pull request where I keep telling him to make changes and stuff because I don't find it. I don't like the thing till now. Oh, not attendance management. Sorry, my bad. It was 1 or 2. Code splitting. Yeah. Oh no, I showed you this. Okay, so this was a recent one. I think just yesterday. So this was the issue that I put up. I wanted some changes. By the way, you to explain your issues well. Whoever is raising issues, please explain and whatever bug you have, or if you want to make some changes, if you want a new feature, somebody to implement it, please make sure you have good steps written. Then so there's asked me that I will do the task, and so it's like go ahead, and I assigned it to him over here. Okay. Then what I then he raised a pull request for it. Yeah. So this was the issue. Then I was like, thank you for the PR. You handled the issue well. Just one change. I wanted a change in it. So then he did that. He made a commit. Okay. So that was fine. So this is ready. You can now check it. Okay. So yeah, this is okay. Then there was one more issue that this line was never. He changed the wrong line when I told him to change something over here. He changed the wrong line. So I think this was never to be changed. Please let the original line be and please make the other change. Okay. So yeah, this was resolved. He made a commit for that. Then again, that was wrong. Okay. So now everything is all right, but it wasn't. So again, I told him to make some changes that please add this line to the head block. And then he finally added it. Then he made a commit for that and said I did it. I checked it out. And then I was like, okay, now I'm satisfied. Okay, then I merge it. Okay, so this is how you do it. Okay, at least I do it. Okay. I'm a very, very, very small, insignificant nobody for open source stuff. So yeah, that is how I do my stuff. And yeah, it is quite time consuming, to be honest. It takes a lot of time. So I think that elaborate answer, Tushar, I think it took me an hour to write that entire thing because you have to research and you have to go through. You obviously learn a lot. Okay, so you learn a lot while doing these things, and yeah, so it took me an hour to just write one response back to Tushar, but that was a really good one. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, so does that answer your query? Whose was it? Guys, gals, people? Okay, I don't know what happened. Something Something just happened, I guess. Hey, can you hear me, everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, so you all heard the entire thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know, somewhere I guess I got disconnected or something. So yeah, that is how I do my stuff. So you all did see the um, stuff that he did wrong, and I had to do it again, and then finally I was satisfied. You all saw that stuff, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, all right. I was just making sure that my connection didn't go off before that. Okay, so yeah, that is how I do my. Any more questions? Anybody? I mean, anything else you all want to discuss as well? Not, it doesn't have to be related to GitHub. So anything else? So whom do we are at now? Karthik, Tushar. So Karthik is joined with 2 devices. Okay. Kamal, fellow Jitser. I don't even know who that is. Then we have Milan. Okay, great. So anybody, any doubts? Anything? Otherwise, we can end the session. We will join through YouTube as well. Thank you so much, so very much. Yeah. Any more doubts? Anybody? Feel free to ask.
Harsh, in the meeting, you mentioned a community. You have a community. Can you post that link? I mean, it's what
Yeah,
Discord
definitely.
community? Or I didn't. I would like to join.
Yeah. I posted the link.
Thank you. All right, I got it.
By the way, 02D9000, what's your name? I mean, do I know you? And thank you, by the way. So I think we can end it now if nobody has any questions. I hope you all understood stuff, liked stuff. It was worth your time. I hope so.
Yeah, true. True, Harsh. Thank you for the session. Thank you.
Yeah. So please join OTC. Thank you, Milan. Okay, I guess we can end the session now. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye. Everyone on YouTube, thank you so much for coming.